matter of fact though, pterodactyl when I micro and macro my mind. Why would I try to hide the fact that
Alright guys, Ian and Derek from Central Coast Disc Golf bringing you a little more of the 2015 Masters Cup. We have a final round MPO chase card. Derek, you ready to get watching this?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Alright guys, we got a pretty sweet card today, Derek. Devin Owens, the lefty. Nicola Castro, backhand extraordinaire. Jeremy Colling has pretty much every shot in the book, throws a lot of backhands. And Simon Lizotte, who throws just crazy shots all day.
Yeah, I'd say he throws magic.
Yeah, that's 100% true, man. I like that.
Yes.
And giving you a look at hole one here. Got that log kind of cutting the fairway in half. It's Nicola Castro. That's the lefty Devin Owens. Simon Lizotte on the red.
I recognize these guys.
Yeah, and Big Germ. Got a great forehand, backhand, and overhand game. Devin Owens has the box, and he's throwing an Annie here, D.
It looks like it. You know, that's a tough one. You really got to get through. You got to penetrate that first level of trees and get some skip up and under or over that log that's down across the fairway there.
Yeah, it's a really tough gap to hit. Nico taking the left line, but hit a tree.
Yep, hit a tree.
That happens.
The story of De La.
Indeed. Big Germ piping it up the middle.
Right at the middle. That's the tight gap to try and get through there.
Yeah, it really is. If he missed that tree though, it could have worked. Simon Lizotte. Oh, that's a pretty similar line,
Same thing. Gets up there. What a shot!
Wow, parked.
I think that's the best shot I've seen on that hole.
Yeah, pretty unreal. Nico with a little Annie backhand. He's parked for a par. Devin Owens second shot. Gets it up there. That should be a par.
From the angle, it looks like they're giving it a run, and they probably can because of the elevation.
Yeah, absolutely.
They know it's not going to finish too far past.
Yeah, you're not going to blow past it. Germ was running in that one for sure.
Simon already walking off. Must have been pretty close.
Yeah, it was real close.
Yeah.
Germ and Devin making their pars, and Nico's making this one too. 3 pars and a birdie.
That's a reasonably respectful way to start off a round.
Yeah. Get your head in a nice place. And we are on to hole 2, guys. 288 feet, really, really, really uphill. And then it doglegs left, then it straightens out, and there's a cliff behind the basket. And as you'll see in the second picture, you're dealing with just hard pan the whole 80.
Yeah, 288, but 400 feet of power at least to get up there and have a putt.
Yep. I can buy my 400, and I cannot get this hole.
No,
Yeah.
not so much.
Yeah.
I really like, I think in another video we saw the forehand Annie line.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see what Devin does, because that ought to be interesting and kind of similar, I bet.
Yeah, should be cool to see. Simon throws the big backhand hyzer line.
Oh, we're just going to go over everything.
Yeah, just get around all
there
the
you
trees. Yeah. And you're not going to see a finish, but he's in that grass off to the right, kind of under a tree, pretty much pin high. I'm going to guess 35 feet to the right. See Devin, he's lining up that Annie backhand.
Looks like it. I like the way that flight looks. I think it's going to have the right finish.
Mm-hmm.
Should put him in a good spot. Now that looks good.
Yeah. Coasting in towards the basket.
That's some nice second cam footage from our buddy Dave.
Yeah, doing some work, man. Huge thanks to him. Nico Castro throwing the right hand backhand.
He's got the power, he's got the line, but he caught a tree. I think he would have been parked otherwise.
I think you're right. That was coming in nicely.
Yeah.
Germ's lining up that forehand you were talking about, Derek.
Yeah, I like that. It should have the same nice finish, little skip to the right.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that looks a little high-y.
Yeah, that's got a lot of air under it. I'm not sure what happened during his release or whatever, but that's not Big Germ-like.
No. Finish short right, and this is a tough upshot. Hard pan, trees, roots, and a cliff behind the basket.
It's one of the few holes where I've seen every pro focus very hard on their layup.
Yes, they take their time, they plan it out, and execute. And see, Nico is about 48 feet out, but this is 100% death putt, and he's playing smart golf, Derek.
Yeah, you got to manage the course, and a lot of holes in De La, you got to play course management.
Yep. So it looks like Simon's about 3 or 4 feet outside the circle, but runs it, Derek.
Oh, that was a good look, man. Just caught the weak side. He was just a few inches off.
Mm-hmm. So Devin is just inside the circle, And this is a 2 or this is a 4, Derek.
Yeah, this is a mental game right here. If you got your putting confidence and practice, you can do that right there
Just
and
like
take
that.
home a birdie. Yeah,
Gotta
you're catching
commit.
a stroke on a lot of the field right there with that birdie.
Oh, absolutely. And 2 on about a third of it, probably.
Oh yeah. Anybody who decides they needed to pick up a stroke, make a wrong move, and suddenly they're looking at a 4.
Yep. And it's really easy to have a bad drive, bad upshot, you know, get in trouble. But Devin with the ridiculous bird gets a stroke on everybody, and we are on to hole 3, 349. Pretty downhill, dead straight, but the basket is guarded by some really big trees. Makes it tough to get really close, Derek.
Yeah, you gotta have a really solid forehand to get in there from this side that we're looking at there. Most common, you're just gonna see a nice, clean, straight shot up the gut, or you know, you don't get to see a left hand throw this too much. A nice hydro line.
Yeah, I love watching lefty play De La. Gets to see some new lines. And that's crashing towards the basket. And there it is.
There it is.
Good
Have a look.
Yeah. Gonna be hard though. Simon Lazat got a forehand in his hands. And
That was a nice smooth pull. That looks nice.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Also,
Did I nice him?
yeah.
Oh.
I bet he'd take that nice though.
Yeah, I would. I sure would.
12 feet from the pin. Nico looks like he's lining up the middle shot with a mid-range. That looks a little low, Derek.
That's a little low. He'll get it some skip, and oh, that's a big skip actually.
Yeah,
You know, it can be good or it can be really bad, but yeah,
Exactly.
you wanted a little bit of higher finish.
For sure. Big Germ lining up the forehand. Got one of the best in the game, if not the best. Flips it out there. Going towards the basket. Oh.
Yeah, caught a branch, came down.
Yeah. Kind of finished off to the left. Devin's got a funny look here, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Oh, nice. Like, just floated up high and let it crash down into the chains. Just missed. That was a good luck, though.
Yeah, it was. And so Nico's got it lined up between these 2 trees.
Whoa! Did that catch 2 chains?
Yeah, snuck it in. So Jerem finished short left. I think he's about 40, 45 out.
That's a nice clean look. Wow, that's a beautiful putt. That's top level right there.
That was just no doubter the whole way, right?
Anytime we think we're going to compete with these guys, like,
Yeah.
oh, I can throw that. It's like, well,
You
you
can't
got to be
foul
a
it.
solid putter also.
Exactly. Simon cards the bird 2. Devin with a par. And we are on to hole 4, guys. Everybody's tied at 10 down on the chase card. This is 390 feet of terror. There's a cliff off to the right. There's trees everywhere once you turn the corner, and then it's downhill and hard pan. It's super difficult.
Yeah, this is one of the more unfriendly holes, I'd say. It's not conducive to birdies, and the forehand rollers they're good, but they just don't finish close enough to get the birdie. I'd say 99% of the time.
Yeah. I'd say the average score is definitely over 3 and not under. Simon catches a tree on his drive. It's going to be actually an okay upshot. Nico parked it Saturday, which is ridiculous, Derek.
Yeah, on the Feldberg Nico card.
Yeah, and I caught it over that tree, and you didn't see it finish, but he actually finished inside the circle, but in a tree.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's got the line. It's just those trees are sticky.
Yeah, exactly. You got a little bit of luck involved getting to the ground. Germ throws a forehand roller, which I really like on this hole, but it didn't turn over, Derek.
No, that came in real hot, bouncing, and it stayed straight all the way down the hill.
It did, yeah. Finished quite a bit long right.
Probably taking home some poison oak.
I did.
Yes.
Devin throwing an Annie lefty backhand, which is a scary shot with the cliff right, but he made it work, Derek.
Yeah, it's scary, and it'll test all the shots. You know, the pros, they should have that shot in their bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the rest of us, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah. Devin lining up a forehand for a second shot. Throwing Annie flex.
That was hot. I think he got lucky on
Yeah,
that kick. That was coming in real hot.
I think you're right. Simon actually finished in a pretty nice spot. Decently easy layup for this hole. And
It's probably going to be me.
touching the hole.
Not often
Nico's in
you
the
see
tree.
him lay up.
Yep. Nico's disc is somewhere up there.
It's up there somewhere.
Maybe it was on screen, maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah, the whole tree. You
Yeah.
got the tree.
So it was up there. You get the idea. So Germ finished long right down in this little ravine, and he's pitching out.
That's a smart upshot, you know, nothing fancy. Just get it up near the basket and, you know, get out of there with your par.
Yep. Devin to save his par. Solid.
Nice putt.
Yep, totally solid. And this is going to be Nico for par. And that's 2 days in a row. He's got it in 2 strokes, but
that's a good save.
Yep, with a 2-meter penalty, he's taking a 3. Simon and Germ tapping in pars. And a little disc rescue effort here.
Yeah, like the sign guy.
The sign guy.
He's using the upside down technique to poke at the disc. Hopefully, he doesn't damage it in the process.
Richard Reister from the PDGCA.
He looks like he's shaking, but if that tree's not moving, Nico knows what's up.
Yeah, Nico using the other tree, and success. There you go. It was exciting.
Yeah, I don't know what was better, the filming or the commentary. That was amazing.
That was 1050 rated.
Yes.
disc retrieval commentary right there. We're on to hole 5, guys. 318 feet, but I think it takes every bit of 450, 500 feet of power to get there. See the basket on the other side of those trees, on the other side of the pit, just next to that giant tree. Just a really huge pull.
Yeah, and like we've seen in all these videos, you just want to get it into that bowl. These guys are just going to go up and over the top.
Yep.
And a side note, we had the AMA with Paige Pierce, and she talked about form work. And let me tell you, she goes up and over these trees like it's nobody's business. So
unreal, man.
So get out to that field and do the work.
Yep, it pays off. Except for when you get a really nasty tree kick like Simon did.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was like ace run. And hit it.
When you throw that far, it's hard to power down a little bit, I'd say.
Nico finished off to the left. Either came out early or faded early. Big Germ's lining up something.
Yeah, he's got the shot. That looks nice.
Yeah, throwing a hyzer flip, but fading a skosh early.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of fought through the trees where you don't really want it to.
So what's Devin line up here? I know there's a local gap on the left that people go for, but it looks like he's pulling to go over it.
Yeah, I think so. Hung it out a little wide, but still probably gonna give himself a putt from there.
Yeah, it looks all right.
Big Germ, trust me, he's got absolutely nothing from right there, and just lays up for his par.
I gotta believe that.
Yeah, that's Simon's shoes right there. They're attached
to a Nike swoosh.
Yep, they're attached to Simon. And almost makes a birdie. And Devin, this is outside the circle, probably about 40 feet. And this is going to be for birdie. And I could get a stroke in the card, Derek.
Yeah, that's a good stroke to get. Nice. Very good.
Yeah, great.
This hole, a lot of those guys are going to birdie this shot. They're just going to put the hyzer up there, finish in the bowl, kind of where Germ is, and drop the birdie. Yeah. You gotta make this too if you want to compete, I think.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Nico, I missed his upshot, but that is his par.
That was a good upshot.
It was, yeah, it was pretty close. But Devin getting a stroke on the card there. 1 stroke over everybody, and we are on to hole 6, par 3, 417. You got the OB right behind the basket in the road, and there's a little OB trench marked off with a rope. You'll see it right, that white rope. Anything inside that is OB, and then you can see the road, and it's pretty easy to go OB, Derek.
Yeah, I can see that, and I've done that, and it's funny because it seems like it's just wide open right there. Just put a nice shot out there, but either you're coming up way short or you're probably going long. It's not an easy two.
Unless you're Devin.
Unless you're Devin Owens, and you just park it.
Just park it. Nice shot, sir. Simon throwing a hyzer flip. That's not flipping, Derek.
No, that's not flipping at all. That's carrying way left.
Yeah.
You know he's not happy with that one.
No. That's going to be a low ceiling, kind of a tough upshot from there, actually.
Yeah, Simon would like to run it, I'm sure, but there's so much danger behind the basket, you really can't afford it.
Yeah. Nico's pull, he's taking a little hyzer line.
Yeah, I think that's pretty traditional, and for anyone who hasn't been to De La, if you go to this course, there's a good chance you're going to hit that post.
Yes, there is. It's skinny, but it just attracts discs. I don't know how.
I like the forehand look on this hole. I think that's going to be beneficial. I think the lefty... Oh, there's Nico.
There's Nico, yep. Yeah, it's a little more wide open.
Yeah, in the finish, you don't have to worry about the OB as much.
Although...
Ooh, that's not flipping.
That's kind of fading towards the OBD.
Stop.
Ooh, wow. You can see somebody signal safe that came up about 2 feet short. And Simon's second, just a smart layup and this little floaty upshot. And this is going to be Nico for 2. This is a long putter.
Yeah, it looks like he's lining it up, which I understand, but it's dangerous.
It really is.
Oh, wow. See, just, I mean, a fraction of an inch over, and it could have stood up and rolled in the street.
Yep, a big germ from about 40, 45.
Wow, nice putt. That was beautiful.
Yeah, staring straight at OB.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a safer run because of the hyzer finish.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. Devin cards a nice birdie. Simon saves his par along with Nico. Big German. Devin doing some work right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's another one of those you just got to get if you want to stay in contention.
Yeah, for sure.
Because not a lot of the course is as open as that hole was.
Yeah, exactly. Like hole 7 will tell you. It's 395 feet, pretty flat for the first 200, and then the other 200 is downhill with a pinching fairway and hard pan, as you can see right here. And behind the basket, maybe about 30 feet is a cliff. So there's that too.
Yeah, the hole really narrows down to the pin, and it provides some challenges right up front off the tee, just like a lot of holes out here.
Yep. Devin throwing a hyzer flip. Oh,
that's unusual. That came out early.
It did.
Slip.
Yep. Big Germ is lining up a forehand.
I kind of like that. I think if you get a nice turn, it'll finish coming in from the left to right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, it stays out that really dense brush to the left, but that flipped too much.
That flipped too much. That was turning.
Yeah. Simon's pull. Oh, miss those trees. Nope.
It just goes to show you how challenging this hole actually is and what it presents. I mean, look at 3 of the top guys in the world. They're all hitting trees.
Yep. And
4 of the guys.
Make that 4.
4 of the top guys.
Yeah. And where's this going?
I hope the spotter's down there. Our second cam guy, Dave. You better get on that.
So that actually finished pin high, just a little bit off to the right.
Wow, unreal.
How would you ever find that without a spotter?
I don't know that you would.
You'd be looking forever in the wrong spot. Devin with an unbelievable upshot from there.
Yeah, that was great. That's a great par save if you can make that putt.
Oh, for sure. He actually went a little bit long, got about a 25 footer uphill for par. Which I'm sure
surprised to see Germ with the backhand there. I thought he might have tried a little forehand up shot, but that looked good.
Yeah, that played. And Simon actually didn't finish in a terrible spot, but
ooh, that's a tough up.
Yeah, that came up a little short. So there's Nico, and he is absolutely pin high, just off to the right.
And there's a window or no?
Yeah, and a big Germ called him on a pre-knee fault. Which is that a thing?
I don't know.
I guess he like warned him before the warning. I guess I don't know.
I guess if you believe the guy who says it, then yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, it works. Simon misses the par putt.
And look, you can see how far back that slid.
Yeah, that slope carries, but that's a good 4 putt, or a putt for 4, I should say. And Devin has saved par.
Awesome, beautiful par save,
which is ridiculous after that drive. Big Germ card to 3, along with Nico.
Yeah, that was a tough 4 for Simon. That upshot really hurt him.
Yeah, losing a stroke to the card. And we are on to hole 8, guys. 348 feet, dead straight, tunnel shot. Got ceiling issues, brush to the right, and OB left and long in the road. And there's always those de la routes, D.
Yeah, exactly. Tunnel shot, problems left and right. Actually, you know, on this one along the road, those logs are kind of friendly. So if you do come off of them, it's not the worst kick in the world.
Yeah, as long as you don't get too big of a skip, they'll usually keep you in.
Yeah. That's a gorgeous shot. Nice shot. Beautiful.
I was worried that the lefty was going to bust out, but I guess I shouldn't have been.
No, these guys are pro. You know, at this point, they got to have every shot in their bag.
Yep. No, that's totally true. Germ's drifting a little right. Let's see what this does.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a good skip.
Yeah, he's going to have a putt. Looks like he actually has a clean line, too. Nico the Castro in his Fly Life gear, ripping it down the right side, and he actually did stay up. You can see it finish right there.
There it is. Yeah, it looked like it was going to turn, but just barely kept in.
Yep. A longer putt than he wanted, but still not bad. And good looking pull from Simon.
There's that skip, but there's the logs. And what a nice roll.
Just
wow.
matriculated right on down towards the basket, man.
That's not your typical De La rolls.
No, they really aren't. Nico for bird outside the circle.
Front rim banger.
Front rim banger. Just a little more want on that one. Big Germ coming up a little short too. Also needs some want, but Devin. That was solid.
Devin and Simon.
And Simon. Nice birdies. Germ giving Simon a little love.
We got a Ken Climo lookalike back there? Owens?
I think so.
Imposter.
Imposter. But Devin's at 13 down now, doing some work there. So,
yeah, he's doing work. If he can just stay level-headed and maintain pars, get the birdies where you can, he'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure. Up next hole is hole 8A, 200 and some odd feet. You got the canyon off to the right the entire way and just right at the basket. You really don't want to finish over there. And pretty good lefty hole for Devin, as long as he doesn't skip out.
Yeah, you need a shot just like that, soft landing, and there you go, looking at a putt. Although it's short, it's going to be a tester just mentally with such danger behind the basket.
Yeah. So Simon slides a little past the basket, but does stay up on top of the slope for the most part. Germ busting out the forehand. It's a clean looking line.
It looks good, yeah.
Gonna hang out with Devin.
Yeah, the lefty and the forehand.
Yep, somebody's closer. Nico with a little Annie. And that's a Nico putt. He'll make that, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
There it is. Totally within his range. Makes that no problem. See, Simon barely stayed up on that slope. It's steep there.
Yeah, it's no joke. You need a real soft landing. If you catch any bad bump, you're gone.
Mm-hmm. Devin makes his birdie, and Big Germ putted super quick and made his birdie as well. He kind of just steps up to those short ones and just throws them in.
Yeah, you know, he's got that motion. He's got that tempo on those putts.
Yeah.
It works for him. It's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, kind of like it. Up next, guys, is hole 9, 315 feet. You'll either see kind of an Annie flex shot or a hyzer flip to Annie up the middle. But there are a lot of trees surrounding the green. Big Germ, Jerry Eshelman, Nico. That's Drew Gibson right there to the left, and Richard Reister.
I like Jerry Eshelman. He just stepped up and he was like, "Oh, let me show you guys how to properly stall this shot."
Yeah, you know this dude knows how to hack. Devin Owens with the lefty throw. And this is usually a big hyzer, but that came out low, Derek.
Came out low. It was turning over. I think the tree cake might have helped his shot in the end.
Yeah, honestly. Simon's going to throw a mid-range up the middle. Also low.
Also low. Also that tree. That's tough.
Yeah, weird. So, Big Germ lining up to Steve Rico.
Yeah, they were consulting on the shot earlier in the day, and I think he had the right throw, just missed the line by 5 feet.
Yeah, just a little bit right. Nico's throwing an Annie. We're going to get
There's
some
the shot.
flex. Yeah, but those trees.
Those trees, exactly.
Yeah. You can hit the line, but you got to get a little bit lucky. Kind of like that.
Like that? Wow, what a lucky kick.
Some solid skips and tree kicks and roots so far.
Yeah.
Just
that
like
was a lucky kick. He was burning by the basket.
Yeah, it was. A log kept him in. He's still got a decent little comebacker, as does Simon. And Nico for 2.
Oh, that's Nico range, but he just misfired, just came off to the side.
Yeah, it was a little bit longer than it looked like. Devin has about a 30-footer for comeback par and makes it, Derek.
Solid par.
Mm-hmm. You need those pars to hang in open.
Oh yeah, you can't really afford bogeys on holes like this. Even though this course, I mean, 10 down is the hot round.
Yeah.
Not like the 15s and 16s we sometimes hear.
Exactly. Snow Memorial. But Devin Owens still got 2 strokes over Germ, 3 over Nico and Simon, And we are on to hole 10, a 347-foot tunnel shot with a tiny dogleg right finish, and then right of the basket even more is the road. Probably about 15 feet, I'm going to say. I can see it right there.
Yeah, if you're coming in too hot, like for instance on the forehand line or the lefty backhand line, that road comes into play.
Yep. Devin. Oh, nobody.
That had to be grip lock. I really think that was just too wide of a line.
Yeah, I definitely missed it. Simon's throwing this forehand anti-flex up the middle.
That's a good looking line right there.
It really was. And might have been in if he didn't hit that tree.
Yeah, one more foot.
Yep. Germ sees that forehand, he's like, I can do that.
I've done this. I know that shot.
I'm big Germ, man.
That was a big skip. There it is. That kick, man.
That was going OB.
It was.
And some more friendly De La trees, which are notoriously not friendly, Derek.
Yeah.
But,
so yeah, I like that shot Nico just threw. It kind of gives you a nice, soft, straight finish. You don't have to worry about the road as much.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Devin busts out the anti forehand for his second shot, trying to get out of trouble. Finishes pin high, but off to the left.
It came out way sooner than he was expecting. Wow, that was a good run, though.
Almost recovers for a par. Nico for birdie.
Putt Nico.
Yep, hits it right in. Simon looking to match Nico. Such a solid putter.
He really is, and he talked about that. His putting game is kind of something he's more proud of than people realize.
Dude, seriously.
They get dazzled by the long distance.
Yeah. Germ with the drop in birdie, and Devin losing 2 strokes to the card right there.
That's a tough one. He's been sitting good, and now he's got to do some work again.
He does. We're on to hole 11, guys. 369-foot tunnel shot. See the basket just straight down there. There's an OB road off to the right, about 20-30 feet of the fairway. And I see the tee down here with Derek.
Yeah, Central Coast disc,
Yeah.
and I hit every tree on my way to that basket.
Nice, man. Kind of like Simon. I guess he only hit 1 tree, though, so far.
He only hit 1 tree. Probably only going to hit 1 tree on this hole.
Yeah. Germ throwing the hyzer flip forehand, and that looked really, really good.
Yeah, it did. He kept it low. It's just that hanging branch gets a lot of people.
Yep, jerk branch, man. I'll show you what's up. Nico hitting a tree, but managed to stay in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, that's a good miss.
It is. Devin throwing a hyzer flip.
Really forcing that turnover. You see that?
Yeah. And, stayed in the middle of the fairway for the most part and got decently far down there. Nico throwing an ante, but hung it out wide.
Hung it out, and then there's those trees.
This is Germ's second shot. It was a tough look. No. Gotta get around those trees, but again, hung it out a little wide.
Yeah, and even though these guys are all pros and are solid golfers, you gotta remember we're tunnel shot on one hole, followed by a tunnel shot, followed by a tunnel shot, followed by an uphill shot. It's gonna test your entire game, including your mental game.
Oh yeah. You're gonna card a bogey. How do you come back from that, right?
Exactly.
Or worse. Nico's
Or
third shot, throwing the forehand. Annie, and goes a little past the basket, but should be able to get that 4.
Ooh, German looked like he had that except for that tree.
He said the same thing after that putt. And Devin, save a par, he misses that one. He's been putting so well.
Yeah, he's been putting real solid. Surprised to see him leave it low.
Nico with a really powerful pitch putt right there.
Yeah, he was a little farther out than it looked like from his upshot, his second upshot.
But managed to save that bogey. We got 3 bogeys, which really isn't too out of the ordinary for hole 11.
Yeah, give you an idea of the difficulty.
And thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you around.